Early deal with Jude Bellingham. According to the latest reports, Liverpool have reached a verbal agreement with Borussia Dortmund sensation Jude Bellingham, and there is a possibility that it will be signed in January. The German club has made it clear that they will not sell the 19-year-old sensation this summer amid intense interest from Liverpool-led clubs. We shared this in the videos we made at the beginning of the summer. However, we also mentioned that Liverpool spent a lot of time on an early deal. Now, according to the latest information, Bellingham may join the team as early as January next year. Coach Jürgen Klopp admitted on Friday that he is in the market for a late-window midfielder after a U-turn caused by his team's miserable start to the new season. Liverpool has made capturing the English star a mid-term priority and has been laying the groundwork for a deal for some time, but Bellingham is not the midfielder Jürgen Klopp's signing this summer is considering. A deal is expected that will cost Fenway Sports Group £100 million plus bonuses. Expected in the summer of 2023, the player may move to the Red ranks in January. Bellingham has been described by the Liverpool recruiting team as a dynamic central midfielder who can take the team to the next level. There have been extensive behind-the-scenes talks with the players' camp, and Liverpool are confident they have convinced him to join with a verbal agreement already in place. As we explained in our videos in March, Dortmund were trying to persuade Bellingham to stay by increasing his salary while also signing his younger brother, Birmingham winger Jude Bellingham. Birmingham agreed to professional terms with Jude Bellingham and will sign the deal when he turns 17 on September 23. Dortmund seems to be unable to keep Jude Bellingham after this development. Bellingham had an outstanding 2021-2022 campaign, scoring 6 goals and 14 assists in 44 games across all competitions. Jude Bellingham is sure to strengthen the Liverpool ranks. In Klopp's hands, he will be an excellent trump card for the midfield. Klopp is pushing for a blockbuster PSG swap deal with Argentinian star Roberto Firmino. It's very hot hours in Liverpool. After Klopp officially announced that they are returning to the transfer market at his press conference yesterday, the names that the Reds contacted began to become clear. Noting that 4 players have now been sidelined, Klopp admits that Liverpool now needs more corpses out the door. "I know we've had this discussion since it all started, and I'm the one who said we didn't need a midfielder. You were fine, and I was wrong," he laughed. This is the situation. There is nothing more to say about this. We're looking for him, and if he's the right player, we need him, and if he's not the right player, we don't need him. PSG management decided to consider the trade offer. However, we conveyed that Liverpool is not the only club that wants the player. Juventus is pushing for the player, and it was claimed that Paredes is to continue his career plan in Italy. However, according to the latest news, such a planning by the players' side PSG went through a revision in the squad this year and is making calculations of sending many of its stars from the team. A new structuring has started, and one of the names that was not considered in this planning is Paredes. So Paredes will definitely leave PSG and is looking for a new team. While it is reported that he is close, the latest reports are in the opposite direction. There are no obstacles to his transfer to Anfield. PSG management did not take kindly to the Reds' trade deal with Firmino and want some money on top of it. As Liverpool enter the final days of the transfer window, they are in the process of making a new offer to PSG for Firmino plus Paredes at a reasonable price. Both stars are thought to be worth around £25 million, and Liverpool's new offer is said to be attractive to PSG. Leandro Paredes joined PSG for £36 million from Zenit in 2019 and won 3 League One titles during his time there. The defensive midfielder made 44 appearances for Argentina. Do you think Leandro Paredes, should Firmino be traded for some money now? Fabio Carvalho may be about to unleash the £77 million Liverpool trio and transform Jürgen Klopp's plan. It's a good day for Liverpool to turn over a new leaf and start their streak. It should be an ideal chance to turn a white page against Bournemouth at Anfield, but as he is not yet an injury-returning player, Jürgen Klopp has the same pool of players as before. So how do you replace a team that has at times seemed lacking in quality and desire so far this season, especially in the drastic defeat against Manchester United? Calls for lineup changes have increased since Monday night, and no part of the Liverpool squad has worked the way they should against Erik ten Hag's side. But there is an argument that the changes have already been made. Harvey Elliott playing in the midfield has dramatically changed the dynamic of the team, while James Milner was generally the furthest striker against Manchester United. However, a more fundamental change may be in store. Signing the £5 million Fabio Carvalho is a must against Bournemouth, a team he started for Fulham in the Championship last season and could really help Liverpool get things moving. Fabinho, as well as out of shape, seems likely to return to the team. Next to him, Jordan Henderson can sit two people in the midfield. More than enough against Bournemouth, especially at home. In front of these two could be an offensive trio of Carvalho, Luis Diaz and Elliott. This will place Carvalho in his preferred number 10 role and give the £37 million Diaz and £4 million bargain Elliott a better chance at creating things and building relationships on the pitch, rather than being isolated as they have been so far. Proven striker Mohamed Salah with £36 million so far this season from the rival goal could play as number 9, with Roberto Firmino ineffective, Darwin Nunez still suspended and Diogo Jota still injured. Firmino could be the man to come out of the bench later on. Putting Carvalho aside is not a big change for Klopp to make for Bournemouth, and if that's the case, then it makes perfect sense to switch to a 4-2-3.1 setup instead of a 4-3-3 where the midfield balance isn't quite right. U-turn for the Liverpool star. Bournemouth manager Scott Parker has admitted he is unlikely to sign Liverpool defender Nat Phillips. The manager said that due to Phillips' growing role for Jürgen Klopp, it will be difficult to sign the Liverpool player. I think it's probably a tough one. Nat probably doesn't want to leave. That's the reality. When you're at the top clubs, you definitely don't want to jump out of there so fast when you see the opportunity, he said. Parker praised Phillips for the role he played in Bournemouth's return to the Premier League last season. But despite the obvious interest, the 25-year-old isn't optimistic about making a comeback. Parker's remarks seem to confirm that Phillips will still be at Liverpool when the transfer window closes next week. There are reportedly other clubs following the player, but Bournemouth's interest was the strongest. Few could have foreseen the defender's debut in the Premier League this season. As we conveyed to you in our videos at the beginning of the summer, Nat Phillips was expected to leave the team. However, unexpected injuries of the defenders caused Klopp to change his mind. Nat Phillips backing Trent Alexander-Arnold strengthens Klopp's hand. In this landscape, it's easy to see why Phillips wanted to stay put. Klopp is a known fan of hers and doesn't hesitate to put her on if needed. Van Dijk and Gomez can't play every game either. The risk of injury for both is too much of a gamble to knock them down in the absence of Ibrahima Konate and Joel Matip. While both players should be back before long, Phillips must be bracing himself to make an impact in the interim. Beyond that, it's still likely to move in January. The Bolton-born centre-back has previously survived a seemingly definitive exile at Liverpool. Looks like he's about to do it again.